bro, this whole John Jones, Tom Aspinall, Dana White situation will not die.
It won't go
So
away.
it won't go away. Because you know why it won't go away? Because it's supposed to happen. Because it's supposed to
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
That's why it won't go away. And it seems as though Tom Aspinall now is unwilling to just kind of go away into the dark
Well,
and be
Tom's getting more
quiet.
aggressive. He's making some videos and whatnot.
Bro, he's getting more aggressive now as time goes on. What do you make of that?
Which, why, if you were Tom Aspinall, why wouldn't you get more aggressive, right? He just defended his belt. Um, John is still there, and if John wanted to say, if John was retired and he said, "Hey, I'm retired. I'm the best that ever did it. Leave me alone, young guy. I ain't trying to fight no more." That would be great. But John Jones currently has the heavyweight title, and he says, "I'm the champion." So if you're the champion, you got to defend your belt. And in all the time that the UFC has been around, I was trying to think of, I did this the other day. I was trying to think of someone who Dana White is actually like protected, right? Where he has not made that person fight the next best person. Because that's kind of the principle that the UFC is founded on, is it's not like boxing, we're going to build you up to 30 and 0. We're going to put you in there against the best guys, and we're going to see if you can make it or not. So
That was
has Dana ever protected anyone else? I couldn't think of it.
I don't know that he's protecting him because I don't know that he needs to be protected.
Well,
Like
okay,
it
but hold on. If you're saying not protecting, why are the number one and number two guys not fighting?
just because I feel like maybe they had a plan and they're unwilling to go away from that plan. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the first time we've seen that, right? We've seen on many occasions where a business has a plan.
McGregor and
Most
Chandler.
times, was that,
McGregor and Chandler.
bro? Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it again, dog. Like, please stop. But
Okay.
you're right. You're right. Right.
Yeah.
But in some cases, when the plan has been made, but an alternate becomes so right, they will veer.
Obvious.
Yes, or obvious. They'll veer. It just
Yes.
seems as though the UFC is unwilling to veer off of the path that they have already committed to with Stipe versus Jones. But
Yes.
right now, it seems as though there should be no question as to who
No
should
question.
fight. But Jones said, I'm 37 years old. I've kicked everyone's ass. My job is to finish strong and make an amazing movie. Go join Tom Brady, Floyd Mayweather, and all the other retired badasses. So then Tom Aspinall says, please make sure you pass me the belt on the way out of the octagon if you beat Biden. Hey, bro,
Oh my God.
Tom Aspinall that's funny. That's funny. But the
Yeah.
fact that he's not being as respectful as
Yeah.
he was before, I think is a massive, massive win for Tom Aspinall because
Yeah.
before it was easy to ignore him.
Yes. Did you see the video where he made where he clipped the moment where it said if you put John Jones and anyone in a room, John Jones is coming out? Did you see this video?
With Dana, right?
Well, Dana says it, but then Tom uses it. He puts it in his video and he says, "Well, Dana, the problem is I just got to get in the room with them." And then he makes this little skit about him trying to get in the same room with John Jones and going different places and trying to find him. It's kind of funny. And
He made a
that's
skit.
he made a skit about it. Yeah, so that's exactly what he should be doing. And man, I always feel like when we talk about this topic, I feel like I'm crapping on Stipe, but then the reality situation is hasn't fought in forever. I actually looked this up. I think it's Tom has fought 7 times since the last time Stipe has fought, I believe.
Really?
And so again, you have someone who's active, who's proved they're the best, who's beaten everyone else, and actually rather convincingly. He obviously has the Curtis Blades loss because he hurt his knee, but that's not really, we know that didn't happen. Um, and so yeah, there's just never been a situation where we haven't been able to see an obvious number one and an obvious number two when they're both in the UFC. We've had situations in the past where there's been a contender outside of the UFC where we don't get to see who we think is number one and number two.
Yes.
But if they're both in the UFC, I literally can't think of a time where number one and number two have not fought. I mean, like a funny one that I was thinking about was because they weren't in the same division, but people were annoyed they never saw it. We talked about GSP versus Anderson for a long
Yep.
time, and it never came to fruition, and people were frustrated by that
But I think,
but they're not in the
just
same
real quick,
division. It's a little
but
different.
but I think that's why the UFC has been so bullish on this. Because do you
Yes.
remember when John Jones was the light heavyweight champion? Everybody would say, oh, what if he goes up to heavyweight and fights
Yeah.
Stipe or Kane or one of
Yeah.
those guys? And now it feels like they're committed to answering that question from so many years ago. That's
Yeah.
that's where I think we are right now. Look,
Yeah.
I believe it's wrong. I believe that those guys should fight.
Yeah.
But John seems now, I don't know if he's trolling. He really can be trolling
He
because
could
I
be,
don't know John
potentially.
Jones to be openly saying, I'm just not fighting that guy. That doesn't seem to be his personality. But when you
Yeah.
read that tweet or that post on X, how do you not take
Yeah.
from that he just doesn't want to fight this kid, man?
Yeah. That's kind of what you take from it. If I were Tom Aspinall, I would just start going so hard. I would start trying to, you know what he could do? He could do like an Ali Sonny Liston. Are you a big Ali fan? Do you follow his history?
I did. I
Okay,
did.
well, like
I was a big Ali fan for sure.
when
For
when
sure.
I, when he started showing up at Sonny Liston's gym and like making fun of him, they kept calling him the
Oh my
gorilla,
God.
and he would
Oh
have
my
this
God.
little
That was
gorilla thing, and he'd punch it and stuff. Like, and that's before social media even existed. But this
oh my
man,
God.
he
Do
went
you remember
across
that?
country to show up at the guy's gym to antagonize him. Like, maybe that's something Tom Aspinall should start considering doing.
Well, you know what I think he might benefit from doing? It's
What's
just
that?
saying flat out he's scared of me. That's
That
one thing he's
yeah,
never said,
yeah,
right? He's never scared. He's never said he's scared of me.
yeah. That's true.
I would say he could flat out say this man is afraid to fight me. People will draw to that like nothing you've ever seen before. And then, Ben, and then
Hmm.
when he says that, openly say, okay, I'm the backup fighter for UFC 2 or 3 or whatever it is in New York City. Say, I'll be the backup fighter. I will put myself in the position that if one of these guys gets hurt, I'm in the fight.
Yeah,
That's what I would do if I was Tom Aspinall. I
yeah.
would say, he's afraid of me. That's why he won't fight me. Here's the thing, though. It's really sad because on the other side of this, Stipe is here as the challenger for this belt. But if John Jones falls out, it don't feel like people would be pining to watch Stipe fight Tom Aspinall
Yeah.
because Tom Aspinall has because Stipe hasn't fought in so long.
Well,
What's
yeah.
making people want to watch Jones and Stipe is the history of these two
Yeah,
fighters.
I don't know. I feel like if you took a fan poll, you know what? I should just do a fan poll on Twitter. Which would you rather see? Jones versus Aspinall or Jones versus Stipe? I bet we're going like 80-20 Aspinall, maybe more. Maybe I'm gonna do it. I'm literally gonna do it right now. I got my phone out right now.
What are you gonna do? A
Which
poll
I
that
put a
says,
poll up, put a poll. Who would you rather see?
"Wait, you know how to do that?
It's easy.
You got to do a poll on Twitter on
Yes,
X,
all you do is this little look. This little, oh man, you can't see it, can you? Oh, it's too bright.
the little bright,
It's
yeah.
like the fourth button over. It's so simple.
Okay, hey, let's
What?
do that and tie it to our show.
Okay.
I'll put that on my Instagram too. Who would you rather see, Jones versus Stipe or Jones versus Aspinall? Vote in the comments, and I'll make Luis to build a
Okay.
beautiful graphic and
Oh,
everything.
graphics. There we go.
Yeah, we'll get him to build a beautiful graphic and everything because, bro, I just don't know that the fans don't want that because realistically, they want to see John Jones compete against somebody they feel is threatening. And I don't know how they could not see Stipe as threatening because
But
Stipe
we
is the
also just
best
want to
heavyweight
see
of all
who's
time.
the best in the world. We listen, Stipe was absolutely the best in the world at one time, but he hasn't fought in 4 years. So we don't even really know where he's at. I
You
mean,
think for
like,
sure Tom Aspinall is the best in the world?
well, he's beaten everyone put in front of him. But yes, would I like to see Stipe or John Jones or Francis Ngannou put in front of Aspinall? And the answer is yes. And one of the reasons I would argue one of the reasons that UFC has done so well is they have this essentially monopoly on the sport of mixed martial arts, and we almost always get to see the number one versus number two guys. That's one of the reasons it does so well.